Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesusjunkjournals, and I am finally back to work on my Matthew journal some more. Sorry it's been a while. I did a new kit, sort of spur of the moment. I got spring fever, I guess, because my flowers were blooming, and I wanted to take advantage of that. So I did a whole new kit in my Etsy shop with flower slides, specimen slides. And so I worked through that and did a video of that and everything. So got that out of my system. So here I am back. Okay, so here this is, and it looks like it's glued up fine. So the next thing is, let me get these clips out of the way. I'm going to take some Amazon packaging, and I'm not sure what this is. Feels like it's got something in the middle of it, but I don't know what. It's all kind of crinkly, which is fine. I don't mind a little noise. And I'm gonna lay this on here and draw around it. And I want it to be just a little bit smaller than the cover. So I'm going to pull this down just a little bit and just over a little bit. So hopefully that gives me, I don't want to get I think I just marked on my bookmark. Well, something like that. Okay, go ahead and cut that out. And this is, that's a seam. Do I want that? Is it going to be a problem? I don't think it's going to make any difference. And you want to check it while the book is shut, because that takes a little bit of space to wrap around those corners. So it's just a little bit short, which is what I wanted. So I think that's good. Guess I could tear these labels off. And so I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I've got some scraps of this quilt lining that I usually use, and I thought I would use it up and put it underneath this, because that will cover, let's see, I'm just going to cut this off here. That will cover any kind of wrinkles or whatever that, if there's anything like where these meat, it'll cover it up with this paper is what I'm trying to say. I can't talk and do this at the same time apparently. Okay, I'm going to take Fabri-Tac, and it looks like my old friend Fabri-Tac. It's time to tune it up again. You know, if you have Fabri-Tac and it starts to get really thick and takes forever to run down, you can thin it down with acetone. And I usually have to do that, I don't know, once a month at least, it seems like. I'm going to go ahead and use it. Just put some on here to keep it in place. And I'm going to trim this just a little bit. It looked like it was kind of overlapping the edge. I don't want it to. Trim that end off a little bit. Put it there. Let's see. So as you can see, it's not important, at least to me, to get it super accurate. Trim that down slightly. It's just going to give it a little bit of heft and just make it feel good in your hands when you open it and shut it like a real book. Set it up here on end. So we are having beautiful weather today. I hope you guys all are too. We've had some really bad storm days, tornadoes all around, but not on us, praise God. So today has been just a gorgeous, no humidity, cool, nice breeze out, pretty much sunny day. And this is my favorite time of the year because all my flowers are blooming, or they were. And the next thing, they kind of go in rounds. I do iris and peonies, sorry. I was raised to say peonies. So everybody always looks at me funny when I say peonies because everybody else says peonies. And then I plant every daylily I can get my hands on. I order them through the mail order daylily stores because they're so reliable, you can't kill them. They bloom like crazy, they spread, and you can divide them and give them away. And so they start to bloom here before too long. So the daylily show will start before long. And then the next thing I have dahlias. And here in Arkansas, now when I was in Kansas City, they didn't work because you'd have to dig them up, and I'm not great at that. I try not to plant things that I have to dig up, but here I don't have to. And they're pretty good about coming back. They last 3 or 4 years, and I might lose them, but that's okay. But they bloom from now till through the fall, really, at different times. I mean, different ones bloom at different times. Let's see, I guess that's good. So it kind of gives me a continuous color in the garden for the whole summer. And then of course there's everything else that blooms here and there and in between, but those are my mainstays. And I love them all, but I think peonies are my favorite. And I just can't seem to get enough. Did I glue that one? No, I didn't. Okay. All right. Don't want anything hanging off. Okay, did everything get glued? I think so. All right, so then I'm gonna glue this on, and I'm gonna do it while it's folded, while the book is shut, because again, you want it to wrap around. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stick this on. This is the back. Okay, so I want this on the back with this little extra piece of paper just in case it looks weird. So I'm gonna glue it right there and then wrap this around. And put some glue on this end. Okay. And then I'm going to cut fabric. Actually, I think I'm going to work on this glue a little bit. I'm going to refill it and put a little bit of acetone in it and get it to where it works a little bit better before I try to do the fabric. So hang on a second. Okay, if you already know this, then you could probably skip ahead, but I'm going to go ahead and do this on camera. Hopefully it goes well. I'm going to work on this glue. So Fabri-Tac comes in a bottle like this, but it's become kind of popular in the junk journal world to move it to one of these Sugar Bell bottles, which is a icing bottle, Sweet Sugar Bell, and you can get them, I believe, on Amazon, but it's a cake decorating bottle. And it gives you a lot finer tip, and so the glue lasts longer. It's not quite as big of a mess. And so I move it between these two, but you don't have to do that. You can always just use the Fabri-Tac bottle. And I think when I'm done, I'll let this sit over there and run down some more, but I'm going to try and get most of it in here. And then I've got, here, let me put the lid on this so you can see it better. So on Amazon or wherever, professional nail polish remover, 100% pure acetone. Now you can use regular fingernail polish remover, but you want it to be clear, and you know, a lot of them they put color in for some reason. I guess they think it makes it look prettier. But the 100% works the best, and it's clear. And that's what you thin this with. And when you put it in there, you're going to want to use a wooden stick. And so for me, the easiest thing is a wooden skewer like you used to barbecue with. You don't want to use a paintbrush handle because it has paint on it and it will melt the paint off of it, get into your glue and turn it a color, ruin it. So don't do that. So just these bamboo or whatever they are, wooden stakes. And then I'm just going to pour a little bit of this in for now. And then, let's see. Take my stick and stir it. You don't want to shake it up because it's so thin it'll just run right out of the top of these. So you stir it into it. And so it's a slow process. It's not something you can do real quick. And I'm not going to stand here and do this or sit here and do this. But stir it up somewhat. And then it will just absorb and process through it, thin it down, and it'll all be the same consistency after you let it set for a while. So I'm going to get that off of there. Wipe this off because I'll probably use it again. Also, what you want to do is I use chapstick, but you can use Vaseline or chapstick or something like that. Put on your threads of these bottles because otherwise they can glue themselves shut, or you'll have to use a pair of pliers to get them open. And the same on these threads up here because this unscrews here. You'll want to put chapstick or something on those threads. There you go. And then this comes off. That's kind of the pieces and parts of these Sugar Bell bottles. And then they have these nice silicone tops that just snap on, keeps them airtight. So that is that. And I think I can use this. I think it'll be okay. You've got to get that acetone worked into it pretty well or before you use it, or it'll just run right out. Okay, so well, I'm just going to let it set because I have to do my fabric now. So I'm going to do fabric on the cover of this. In another episode of this, I picked this fabric out. So let me lay it out and see which way works the best. I need just a little bit of overlap, so I don't know if, yeah, this will work. Okay, so I'm going to figure that about that much. Well, actually, I could even use the edge here because it just needs to cover this edge. Okay, and then this needs to come a little bit over there. So I'm going to just cut it. I try to do everything I can to not have to measure it. So hopefully this works. Allow myself about that much over here on this side, and then over here I'll do the same. Always remember that it takes a certain amount of fabric to go over all the thicknesses you've put on it, so you can't just do a straight measurement. So that should work. And then I'm going to cut corners. I'm going to cut a little notch here. Actually, you could just cut a square out of the corner and overlap it. But what I'm going to do is a little different. I'm going to leave myself just a small little piece. I have fabric scissors and I'm so protective of them that then when I have fabric I don't even use them, so that's kind of silly, but okay. So I'm thinking that by cutting it like this, I can actually glue this and then glue this and then glue this over it, and that will leave this covered. Where if you cut a whole notch out, sometimes it leaves just a little bare spot there, which isn't a big deal. But you know, why not make it harder for yourself, right? No. Okay, so I need my glue. Actually gonna use my bottle here and wipe it off, first of all. The other thing is when you thin your Fabri-Tac, if you're not careful, it will be so thin that it soaks through fabric and makes a spot on it. So you don't want it super thin, even though it makes it a lot easier to work with. So I'm hoping I didn't do that. Okay, so I'm just putting it kind of on the edges, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue this side. Put a little bit of glue here, glue this tab. I'm going to go ahead and put glue here. I'm not as concerned about how this looks. Whoops, that's not good. How this goes, because I can cover it up. Ooh, and I kind of cut myself short on that a little bit. Okay. And I need to trim this where it starts to be a problem. Pull it this way just slightly. And then I'm going to spin this around. And okay, there. That's what I was trying to get done. And then I'm going to put some glue here. And I need to cut this. No, I guess I don't. I guess it's small enough I don't have to. Okay, so I'm going to bring this, make sure this is smooth. Clip this for just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put glue here, and I'll fiddle with the corners here in just a minute. Okay, so I'm going to shut it and let it pull it tight. And that shows me where it needs to go. I'm going to cut this corner, try to do a better job this time. Okay, and put that there. And then overlap that, tuck this raw edge down. And then come down here. Fold the, whoop. I think I'm actually just going to cut this off here. Fold this up underneath here. Fold that edge over. I know this is probably not clear, but I'm basically just folding over my raw edges on top of that little notch. And putting glue here. And pulling it up so that it's hiding this white, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little bit more glue here. Put this here. And because it's a junk journal, I guess I really shouldn't worry about if those words show or not. And then, let me check back here. Cut this off here. I'm going to cut it right here where the spine starts, because I'm going to fold it under just right there and right here. And I hope you can see that. I'm going to take that little piece there and just fold it under so I don't have a raw piece of fabric, which would have been easier if I hadn't left everything in the book. Okay, so I'm going to tuck that and then fold that over and put it there. Clamp on that right there. I'm going to end up putting washi tape between here, so I think it will all be okay. Then you check it, make sure it doesn't have any wrinkles or puckers, and it looks good. And that is the cover. So I think I will stop with that and let that be a video all by itself, and then we'll come back and work from there. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.